Welcome to the Absolute Beginner mini course. And in this course, I will teach you how to start learning to play the guitar. So we lay some foundations. After you watch this course, you'll be able to play 3 very common chords and also do some strumming. Okay, so you'll be well equipped to dive into YouTube world and search for the songs, and also maybe it will give you a good foundation to develop your skills further. Okay, now look, it's very important when you watch these lessons to watch this from the beginning to the end, because if you skip some lessons or if you don't watch everything in the lesson, you may miss some very important knowledge. I will talk about a lot of tips and tricks. Okay, so if you want to follow this course, just make sure you watch this from the beginning to the end. So in the first lesson, we are going to learn how to play a very common chord, which is called A minor chord, okay? And I think it's a great starting point when it comes to the chords. This is one of the chords that you may find in a lot of songs, okay? So this is why we start from the A minor chord. Now let's lay quickly some foundation. Look, on the guitar I've got 6 strings. This is string number 1, and this is string number 6. So remember, the thinnest one is 1, and the thickest one is 6. We need to understand this because when I am going to teach you how to position fingers on the fretboard, I'm going to use numbers of the strings and numbers of the frets, okay? Now look, these metal pieces here that you see, we call them frets, okay? So these are frets. But now look, when we position our fingers on the fretboard, we position these fingers in the spaces between the frets, okay? So this is the physical fret, this one here. But if I place my finger here, this is fret number 1. So we call frets these metal pieces, but really we refer to the spaces between the frets. So this space here is called fret number 1, fret number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, does that make sense? It's fairly simple. Now you may be wondering, why do we have these dots here? And the purpose of these dots is to help us quickly navigate on the guitar. Okay, so on most guitars they are in the same places. Okay, so fret number 5, 7, 9, 12. You've got 2 dots here because this is a very special place on the guitar. This is basically the octave. Probably you don't know what it is, but in the future, remember, it's marked on purposely here, okay? It's not just random. Some of the guitars will have also dot on the 3rd fret. I don't have any dot here, okay? And also you have these markers at the top, which is very useful. Okay, so remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then fret number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't know the names of the strings, you can go to my website guitarcouch.com, and I've got a few videos explaining how to tune up the guitar and what the name of the strings are. Okay, we don't need this right now, this knowledge. Okay, we just need to know the fret, strings, and also your fingers. So look, this is finger number 1, 2, 3, and 4. We don't count thumb as a 1 because it's at the back of the fretboard supporting our hand. Does it make sense? But at the back of the neck. So this is finger number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Remember this. So now look, let's try to start from the very simple exercise. We are going to just position our first finger, remember this finger number 1, on the 1st fret, 2nd string. So look, let's try to find this position on the guitar. So this is string number 1, like we said, yeah, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we said 1st fret, 2nd string, yeah? So 1st fret is here, this is the 1st space, and the 2nd string, 1, 2. And I'm going to position this finger on this string, okay? So let's do it together, okay? So 1st finger is going on the 1st fret, 2nd string. And now look, let's just try to strum this across all strings, just like this. When it comes to the picking hand, I just hold the pick, kind of take the pick like this, okay? And just keep this in your fingers. I've got another video, if you go to my website, Guitar Couch, explaining how to hold the picks, okay? So you've got all the knowledge in there. This is kind of quick crash course on how to play a few chords and some stuff, okay? So you can always refer back to my website, okay? So we are going to strum this across all 6 strings for now. Don't worry about which string you're supposed to play, which not, just strum this. But does it sound the same way? You may notice when you strum this, it sounds like this, for instance. Can you hear these muted notes? And one of the reasons it's muted is because you probably didn't position your 1st finger in a proper way. So what is important here, when you place your fingers on the fretboard, this dark piece here we call fretboard. This is a neck, and this is fretboard. Okay, so the fretboard is when we position our fingers, yeah? And on the fretboard we got these frets, okay? So I'm adding the knowledge now as we go. Yeah, so when you position the fingers on the fretboard, make sure that they are in a vertical-like position to the fretboard, okay? If you lay this finger too flat like this, you are going to mute the strings underneath. Look, let me show you something. Right now, I take this finger and I position it in a very vertical way. Listen this. It sounds great, right? But look what's happening when I move this finger down slightly. Can you hear this? Instantly something is muted, okay? So this is the key to achieve good sound. And also when you position this finger, make sure that you press this note, okay? Because if you don't press it, there'll be no sound. Look, if I just lay my finger like this, there's nothing coming from this, yeah? So make sure that you press this note. Great. Now look, one thing when you position your fingers, make sure that you are kind of in the middle of the fret or closer to the fret. Because if you are too far away from this metal piece here, yeah, you'll have to, you know, apply a lot of pressure and it still may be muted, okay? So the rule will be to position our finger in the middle or closer to the fret. Okay, with some of the chords, it might be difficult to position, for instance, as you see this finger here, second finger close to the fret, because the shape of the chord will not allow this. So these are exceptions, okay? But if you have one finger like this, make sure that you position this finger closer to the fret, okay? Does it make sense? I hope it's not too quick for you. You can always pause this video. Don't forget it's a crash course, so it's kind of quick introduction to the concepts, yeah? So the first finger on the first fret, second string, and strum this. And let's try to get good sound. Now look, if you have a long nails, you need to trim them, okay? Because the nails will stop you from playing in a kind of vertical position like this, the way we discussed, okay? So make sure that you can actually play from the very top of your finger. Look, if I press this harder, you will see that I've got here a mark. Can you see this mark here? So it's literally my string is sitting here. The problem is, it's going to be quite painful at the beginning, but you know, you will get better with this, okay? So this is why at the beginning when you learn how to play the guitar, you can't play for hours and hours. 5 minutes per day will be fine, okay? You have to build the strength in your hands. So one more time, let's try this. So the first finger is going on the second string, first fret. So 1, 2, first fret. Okay, great. Now let's try to position our second finger. So remember, this is our second finger, yeah? 1, 2. So we've got the first finger on the first fret, second string, and now our second finger is going on the second fret, fourth string. Does it make sense? So second finger, second fret, fourth string. And let's try to play these strings again together. Does it sound the same way? It might be muted again like this. Because maybe you are not pressing hard enough, or maybe again, your fingers are too flat on the fretboard, okay? So make sure that you are in a vertical-like position. Okay, relax your hand. I want to tell you one thing. At the beginning, when you pick up the guitar for the first time, because your hands are fresh, you may be able to easily play these chords, okay? Because, you know, you've got full power in your fingers, you are not tired. But after a while, you know, after 2-3 minutes, if you're a beginner, you start to feel the pain here. So these chords may sound a little bit you know, muted, and this is normal, this is fine. Just remember that as the time passes by, you know, the longer you practice, the chords probably are not going to sound that great anymore. So remember, this is one of the reasons why it may not sound great after a while. Okay, so very important thing when you try to learn this stuff, take breaks in between, okay? So one more time, the first finger is going on the first fret, second string, and the second finger is going on the second fret, fourth string. And let's play this like that, okay? So one of the exercises will be to take off the fingers and try to find these 2 notes. And again, relax your hand and try to find these notes. Now look, when I'm talking to you in this video, make sure that you don't hold your chord, relax your hand, because you will give your fingers a break. This is why I'm talking so much, okay? To give you kind of chance to relax your fingers, yes? So don't hold this chord, because on my one-to-one lessons, many beginners will hold this chord for half an hour, you know, and it's very painful, yeah? So make sure that you relax, and then again. So let's try this chord one more time. Look, the first finger is going on the first fret, second string. You can always check if it sounds all right by playing the second string with the pick. Okay, it sounds good. Now second finger is going on the second fret, fourth string. That sounds great. And now look, let's add one more finger, and we are going to have full A minor chord shape. I'm going to position my third finger on the second fret, third string, so literally underneath. and I've got A minor chord. Relax your hand. So look, the chord is a bunch of the kind of notes. We call these notes when you position, when you play something. Like these are notes. One note, second note, third, so on, okay? So chords are the notes that kind of sounds good together, or they create certain sounds, okay? And they will have different names, like minor, major, dominant, seventh. At the beginning, we are going just to learn minor and major chords. So for now, just minor chord, okay? So this is where the names are coming from. Now look, very important thing. If you look at my website, you see this A minor chord. There is a cross when it comes to the sixth string, okay? What does it mean? This cross means that you shouldn't play the sixth string. You should try to avoid hitting this string. And then you see two kind of O's here. It means that the first string is open and the fifth string is open. It means that we play these strings, we strum them, but we don't have fingers there. So we call this chord open chords, because open chords means that you've got some strings that you don't lay your fingers on, but you still strum this, okay? So remember, A minor chord, we play from the fifth string down everything. At the beginning, when I told you to play from the sixth string, we just wanted to kind of just try to play something without any distractions, okay? So at first, when you position your fingers, you may not worry about this sixth string, okay? To be honest, if you're a beginner, you shouldn't worry too much about where is the string which is muted right now, okay? Because there'll be too many things I need to focus on, okay? So at the beginner, probably it's a great idea to know that you shouldn't hit the sixth string in A minor chord. But if you hit this by accident, it's absolutely fine, so don't worry, okay? So look, when it comes to A minor chord, the great idea to practice will be literally take the shape, strum this, relax your hand, and try to find the shape again. And very slowly, position one finger at the time, okay? Don't rush, the quality is the most important thing. So try to find the chord and relax. If it takes you that long and you have to look here, that's also fine, don't worry, okay? Sometimes it helps when you lean your guitar a little bit like this, okay? Because you may notice that you may not see the strings on your guitar. And especially strings 1, 2, or 3 sometimes, they are almost like they're blending with the color of the guitar. You may not see them. So this is kind of one of the ways to help yourself by leaning this guitar more like this. The only problem, it will create more tension in your hand, because your hand will start to work under different angle. So the best position for the guitar to be probably sitting vertically down like this, or slightly maybe like that. Okay, and you can practice your A minor chord. And again, lay your fingers, relax your hand. And again, okay, and remember, it may take a bit of time to make it sound right, so don't rush, okay? Great, so this is our lesson number 1. Let's go to the lesson number 2.